Okay, let's go take a look inside. Thought it's been a while since I've done an update, so let's go in the Hobby Lodge and see what's happened. Thought I'd do this at night because then you get to see some of the cool lighting we've got going on now. So here we are. I'll give you a bit of a scout around the room and then I'll take you through what we've done. So updates have been, the table's currently set out for a game called Super Fantasy Brawl because we've really enjoyed playing it recently. It arrived from Kickstarter. But the new thing we've added is some comfy stools. I before had some wooden bar stools here and they were okay, but once you sat on them for about 30-40 minutes you got a bit of a flat bum, you know, a bit numb, and that wasn't very comfortable for long sessions. So we've added these nice comfy bar stools, which are one of my new favourite things in here because they're super comfy to sit in for many hours of gaming. Gaming table's not changed an awful lot. I've added some new LED lights because the last one's died, and these ones actually go all the way around the table and they're colour controlled and so on and so forth. But as you know from before, underneath each of them is a new mat. So we have the sea mat, that's not changed. The snow mat, I think I had that one before. These are the new double-sided ones, so it's got like a Marsy effect and then a futuristic setting, sand, and then sort of, you know, grasslands, and also a fabled sort of, you know, storytelling environment, cobbled path and all that fantasy basics. So yeah, I've got a trusty old Chromebook there for monitoring the stream when we're doing tabletop streaming. Yeah, so if we move around to this way, some new additions over here. I'm afraid the Flash Forge is gone, but we now have in its place the Anycubic 3D FDM printer, which has been doing a cracking job for us. And then recently, because of my birthday, I've got the Elegoo Mars Pro resin printer, which is currently printing some Phoenix wings. Sorry, I can't say much more than that, but it's not easy to see what's going on inside of a resin printer. And then we've got the Anycubic Wash and Cure, which I think is personally an amazing piece of kit. I did add this sort of clean air, what do you want to call it? Air purifier, I guess is the right word, because I don't get hardly any smell from this whatsoever. It has a built-in filter, but I figured why not add this to the equation to really ensure that it's as good a quality air as it's all. And as I stand in here, I feel I get no sense of anything. The Hobby God bag is still taking pride of place on the wall, as is this wall here, which has my not Lord of the Rings multi-part print on it. This may be going. We may be putting a TV up here for many reasons, but yes, that might go. We don't know. Up the top, we've been loading up the books, so all the various rule books, all the different games. And even some games appearing on there. So we're pretty full. And that is going to be the common theme as we go around. The lodge is getting pretty full up. This is just some lightsabers we picked up at Disney in America last year when we went. So that was really cool. I had to bring them home in the suitcase. And then I found you could actually buy this acrylic stand on Amazon so you can mount them on the wall. But there you go. They do turn on and they do make some cool sounds when you smash them together. The glass cabinet, not much has changed really. My Necrons now live on top with this green light shining down on them to give them a kind of a green hue. With some 3D printed buildings in the background. Obviously I've got all the new stuff to add yet from the Indomitus box. And then the cabinet hasn't really changed an awful lot. Still lots of variety of stuff in there. So we've got in here, yeah, I'm not even going to try and name it all, but Burrows and Badgers, bit of Silver Tower in there. There's Volsung, there's Rumble Slam. Down here we've got Mythos, we've got Malifaux, Bushido. Yeah, and then bunch of unpainted stuff. So Star Wars starting to come together. Just need to paint that lot. My army from last year that I painted, the Stormcast Eternals, the old High Elves, and a bunch of other sort of random stuff, Flames of War, Cruel Seas, and then again some more random stuff from various skirmishing games. If I step back a little bit here, we've got a whole bunch of box games that we may be shedding some of these. They may be going away, but as you can see, they're Reich Busters that came through, and you've got some other great stuff there, the Indominus box and so on and so forth. My Beasts of War dice bag, Cult of Games dice bags, and then a whole bunch of sort of card games and sort of card related materials. So up there is all of those. So there's Magic the Gathering up there, there's Age of Sigmar Champions, there's Keyforge, there's all sorts of weird and wonderful stuff. Moving across, we've got the old bins. So all of these plastic bins hold mostly like, this is over here is mostly terrain. So if I open up, say, this one here, we've got mostly Star Wars based terrain, and so on and so forth. So the bigger bins tend to have that stuff in. Going across the top, we've got some more games and some models out. This row here tends to be hobby supplies, so stuff I might need like paints and pigments and materials. There is some handy dandy little useful boxes in here which contain sort of self-contained little projects. And then we're on to the sort of army trays, I would call these. So these are really cool for putting miniatures in, because they're the right height to have loads of drawers of miniatures. Now, my dog is scratching at the door, so maybe the dog wants to be in the video. You coming in, Dust? You gonna say hello to everybody? Right, we now have the dog in as well. So yeah, more of that kind of stuff. The shame that is my Archeon yet to be painted, but he's there, he's ready to go. Yeah, more storage. Always more storage. That whole wall is pretty much storage across the thing. We have board games. Lots and lots of board games. Crowned by the mighty Hero Quest. And the Gaping Dragon from Dark Souls, so that's interesting. Right, the newest thing that I've done in here is that the other thing that we like in our family is video games. So I've started to build a bit of a sort of retro area, because that's the thing we also like. So we have some old school retro handhelds that I've owned, and some signage. So we've got the PS Vita, the 2DS and the DS, and then here we've got PlayStation 4, 3, 2, a Wii and an Xbox. And the nice thing is a lot of these will play older consoles as well. So the PS2 will play PS1 games, the Wii plays GameCube games, and there's a few others in there it can do as well. So then we've got a collection of games, and also got some of the mini consoles as well. So like the C64, the Mega Drive, and the SNES. And we may add to those over time. Probably not going to go too crazy here. I'm going to stick to games that have some sort of, sentimental value to me because I played them when I was younger, or I owned them. And obviously the mini consoles come with a bunch of stuff on, and I can also, use things like a retro Pi, which I do have set up. This all runs into my capture card, so when I take the fancy, I can turn one of these on. As they are right now, they're all plugged in and connected. Just turn it on and start capturing. Then we come over to the paint desk. Don't think a huge amount has changed here. This is pretty much as it's always been. The contrast paints and the instant paints from Scale 75 are the newest addition, I guess. Otherwise, it's pretty much the paint station, with cameras set up so that I can stream painting videos and such. One of the things I have done, which I would recommend people do, is if you have any old mobile phones, they work great as cameras. I actually use this is a Galaxy S9 here, and I have an iPhone 6 or 7 which I use on the table. Work really well if you don't want to spend on a DSLR or something for capturing your mini painting. Yeah, so that's where the hobby mostly happens, and then over here we have my desk. So where I work day to day, where I stream, where I game when I get the chance. So there's all the controllers, and they're all wireless, so I don't have to connect any wires back to the consoles. Yeah, got some pictures. So these are pictures from the boot camps when we used to be allowed to go to boot camps. So we have the first one there, which is the Flames of War boot camp, the Volsung boot camp, and the Bolt Action boot camp. Above that, we have a security camera. Hi. And then we have a whole bunch of games. More games. And then my little collection of all my demons. My contrast army, painted entirely with contrast paints. So yeah. Oh, my screen's gone off there. I should have done this with the gimbal in my hand, really. That would have been more sensible. But yeah. So as you can see, the theme in this room is, whilst it's very hobby orientated, this room, there's also a bit of a retro vibe to it. We're very much into the retro colours, so the purples and the blues. You can see we're starting to stick some stuff up into the pictures there. You know, I found this company that does these sort of metal plaques of old video game art, so we might get some of those. And then there's some locations that we're fond of in this family. So obviously England Rugby, Liverpool Football Club, and Charlton. My middle son is a Charlton fan. I'm the Liverpool fan, and my oldest son is, well, who's not a England Rugby fan? Well, anyone who's not English, I guess. But yeah, that is, I think, the room. I don't think there's anything else I need to show you. This, in case you didn't know, lots of people ask or are wondering what they should do for a gaming table to get a 6x4 table. This is actually a pool table underneath. So if I was to take this top off, underneath it would be a 6x3 pool table. I can actually prove that because if I look at the end here, there's all the pool balls. And the cues are down here. And it's one of those tables that rotates into also an air hockey table. So you plug it into the wall, air jets come up and you can play air hockey. And then what I had made was just a 6x4 topper. So that's what goes on top. And then my gaming mats go on top of that. So as I showed you before, we're able to flip to various scenarios as and when we please for whatever game we're playing. I'm pretty much got a mat to match any environment now. There's plenty more I could get, but I'm happy I've got an okay spread of various mats. And then the black one, which is probably a silly thing to, I don't think you need to get a black neoprene mat. A tablecloth would have done it, but it fits nicely and it allows the LED lights to sort of be there to go. And it's nice to play your games on because when you're picking up cards, sorry I keep sticking my fingers in front of the vents, I should have picked up my gimbal, I don't know why I didn't do that. But yes, when you're playing with card games on here, it's easy to lift the cards and move stuff around. But there you go, that is the Hobby Lodge for 2020. The one thing it definitely needs is going to be a rewiring, and I mean that from like a, you know, equipment, not the lodge. The lodge's electrics are top notch, but my wiring of running power to PCs and power to cameras and blah de blah is a bit of a spaghetti junction. So I won't show you under the desk because you may have caught glimpses of it as I've gone round. But yeah, it's a spaghetti junction underneath there and it needs some work. But I'll give you one more look around. It's looking pretty cool. Yeah, that's it guys. Thanks for joining me. Hopefully you're going to get some more content up on the YouTube channel soon, but if you got this far, hey, why don't you pop over to Twitch as well and watch me there. So that's Twitch/LaughingBoy to watch me do some painting streams or maybe some video streams or some board game streams. Alright, thanks a lot. See you probably next time. Bye. Bye bye.